I guess I'm going to have to start making more and more videos more frequently, guys, because you know what? As the title states, publishers have brainwashed you guys. And I have to say this because a few of the comments that I've read on my do not support Xbox One video have tried to defend Microsoft's actions. And it's the same excuse every single time. And we have to thank a person by El Lamas who wrote, "Used games mean the game creator does not make any money. Not allowing used games lets the developer get the money. Buying games will probably be like Steam, allowing them to have lower prices. Yes, you are full of shit and you've been lied to. That's not going to be the case. In the perfect world, a publisher, which, by the way, is an unnecessary middleman in the world of the internet. Who the fuck needs a publisher these days? That's why we're having an indie movement, dumbasses. But we're going to have to actually divulge in this a little bit further. Look, in any other industry, this is considered normal practice. Why is software any different? I really don't understand that. When I buy a physical disc, I don't understand why you're going to make the claim and make the case that the developer is such a poor, defenseless fool that absolutely needs every scrap of pennies that a developer could have made from used sales. And I don't understand this. I don't understand why in the past few years, ever since those stupid online passes made their ways onto our games, that you dumb fools decide that we're not the victim, the developers and publishers are. We are the monsters that are buying used games. We are the ones that are destroying the industry. But you know, that mindset only occurred recently. It wasn't the case 10 years ago. It wasn't the case 20 years ago. No one gave two flying fucks about renting games, buying used games, and then turning around and saying, hey, we're not supporting the industry, we're causing problems. That's not the case, guys. The industry is in a better state than it's ever been. Yes, the sales have gone down, but that's normal. It's normal for one, when you have an economic crisis that we have, because if you look at it, America's not the only one that's getting fucked over here. The European Union is in very terrible shape right now. So you think people are going to be buying games left and right? No, they're not. We're towards the end of a console life cycle. People are holding off their purchases. That's why console sales have dropped, because it's only natural for that to happen. When a system's been out for 6-7 years, do you think everyone and their cousin doesn't have one already? I don't know a single person that doesn't have a current gen system. So therefore, they're not going to buy another one. They're not going to, continue buying the same fucking console over and over and over and over again. Therefore, the sales are going down. It's natural. The market has saturated already. That's why we have a new generation, guys. Once Sony releases the PS4 and Microsoft releases its piece of shit Xbox One, people are going to start buying consoles again. They're going to have sellouts if the price is right, and if the economic crisis starts to turn in a better form, I think people will actually buy more and more consoles and more games. But you also have to understand that the industry is shooting itself in the foot. They're pricing the games out of reach again. And, for anyone out there to say that $60 is a bargain, it's not a fucking bargain. And this dumbass person who's saying buying games will probably be like Steam, allowing them to have lower prices. Look, Valve is the only company that fucking gets it. When they have their summer sales and they're offering games at ridiculously low prices, and then they're proving a fucking point that people don't have a problem buying games new. They don't have a problem with that. You just have to price it accordingly. And EA, Activision, Sony, Microsoft, now Nintendo, they don't fucking get it. When a game is $60, that's a lot to ask for a game. You can tell me the game costs $100 million to make and they need to recoup that price. But look, they don't need to do it at $60 fucking dollars a pop. They can easily get by with 30. They can easily get by with 40. They don't need $50 to $60 games. They don't need it. And Valve has been proving this left and fucking right. When you want to buy Half-Life 2, the game was released at $50. Within a year, the price dropped down to $20. And it's sold like hotcakes. They made a killing off the game. Left 4 Dead. The Left 4 Dead for the Xbox 360 was still $60 a year after launch, but the PC version had a $10 sale by that point. The PC version outsold the Xbox 360 version, I would say 10-1. It was priced right. They gave you an incentive to buy a game because they gave it to you at a fair price. Yes, you don't have the opportunity to resell it. You don't have the opportunity to say, hey, friend, do you want to borrow my game? Well, maybe you can let them log into your Steam account. But I don't have a problem with not being able to resell my game if I'm buying it for under $20. To me, that is where video games need to be. Yes, you have this expansive world and you have this awesome graphics and yeah, now they're hiring fucking movie actors to make the cutscenes, which honestly we don't need. But price the games at a reasonable price, you will give people the incentive not to buy used. Do it. That's what you do. But no, you dumbass drones, and I'm going to start calling you guys as I see them. You guys are idiots for believing Activision, EA, Sony, and Microsoft when they're saying that used games are killing us. They're not fucking killing them. They're shooting themselves in the foot, and you dumbasses are falling for it. The market is fine. The market will always be fine as long as you can buy used games. When you buy a house, you're not buying a new house every fucking time. You're buying it off of someone who already owned it. The builder is not getting a fucking scrap off of a resale price. They don't earn it. They don't deserve it. When you buy a used car, Ford, Toyota, whoever the fuck, doesn't see a fucking dime. Because they don't deserve the money twice. And you guys don't fucking get this. And the thing is, I don't understand where people get the audacity to say that, well, but it's software. It doesn't age. It doesn't do this. We're not talking about the software. We're talking about the fucking disc that it comes on. You're not selling the software. You're selling the disc that it comes on. That's the part that you guys don't get. When you buy a game, you're not buying the rights to the game. You're not buying Gran Turismo 5 and saying, I own Gran Turismo 5. I can make 1 million copies of it and sell it somewhere else. That's where, intellectual law comes. And I think intellectual law is stupid, by the way. But that physical disc that you purchased, that you bought a retail copy, you have every God-given right in this fucking country to do whatever you want with it. And for Sony, Microsoft, EA, Activision to take those rights away from you, they're being anti-American, and I think they need to get the fuck out of my country.